Describe the transformations of f of x equals 4 to the x to g of x, then find the domain and range of g of x. So g of x is the negative of 4 to the x minus 3 power and then minus 2. So the negative sign in front of the 4 means we have an x-axis reflection. Okay, and these other two, they're translations. The x minus 3, that negative 3 with the x means translation. Right 3. And another translation of down 2 because of this minus 2 out here by itself. Okay, so these are our transformations. Now to find the domain and range of g of x. Well, since we have an exponential growth, the domain is all real numbers, or we say it like this in Set Builder. X is an element of the real numbers. Now for the range, normally for an exponential growth, it would be y is an element of the real numbers such that y is greater than 0. Because the graph of an exponential function approaches the x-axis but never hits it. However, there are transformations involved, so this will not be the asymptote anymore. So first we have this vertical reflection, and let me just sketch the exponential growth function real quick, the parent function. It's going to go like that normally. Here's x-axis and here's y-axis. If we have a vertical reflection, what happens is it will reflect like that. So this is f of negative x. So when you do that, that automatically changes the domain. So it's instead of y is greater than 0, it's going to be y is less than 0. So we would say y is an element of the real numbers such that y is less than 0. But then we have a translation of down 2 and right 3. Now the right 3 doesn't move the asymptote up or down or change the range, but the down 2 sure does. So instead of y being less than 0, it's going to be shifted down 2, so y is going to be less than negative 2. And it should look like that. So the range, y is an element of the real numbers such that y is less than negative 2. There's our domain and range. Now let's take a look at the calculator to verify. Okay, now here's the function already entered in. The negative of 4 to the x minus 3, then minus 2. There's the graph. You can see how it's reflected vertically over the x-axis and translated down 2. Let's look at that table. And you can see right here, very quickly, the function rounds to negative 2. Now the problem here is that this table only goes to the thousandths place and then rounds. So it's giving a false impression that these values are all negative 2, but they're not. They're just very, very close to negative 2. It's just the calculator's rounding here. But if you understand the function and know that the function never hits the asymptote of negative 2, then you're good to go here. Okay, so here's your domain and range.